Well, okay. 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 So, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Alright, so we're going to talk about these two albums, right? One being Party Mobile. Yeah, most of them being Party Mobile. Party Mobile and After Hours. While I do love The Weeknd. Hold on. I just got to fix it. Okay. So welcome to the King CJ podcast. And before we get into like anything really in depth, let's talk. So we have the Party Next Door. We have Party Next Door and The Weeknd. I put an album, I believe, in March. Yeah, which I believe is in March. And beyond these two people talking about females and literally females in most of these tracks, and kind of reminiscing on songs, I should say. I'm gonna kind of split these into two categories. Categories about females and categories just kind of categories by themselves. Okay, so the categories for females, it would be nothing less. It'd be Hardest to Love, Scared to Live, and I'm gonna have to say After Hours and Fate. While Party Next Door had a few. PGT, which was about a female more addicted to the money. And I want to say, what's the other song? Nothing Less, Split Decision, Loyal, the original, and Another. Really Never Again, but that's an Eyes on It, okay. And Trauma. So we're gonna go through the few songs from The Weeknd that I physically enjoyed from The Weeknd. And then we get into Party Mobile, because Party Mobile is extremely long, and the list of the songs and what I liked about them were good, but I think I simplified it. Okay. So and After Hours, he said he didn't feel at home. Like he was talking about relationships, women, and escape from LA. He was just talking about how he once called LA his home, and now LA, he don't feel like he's at home anymore. Huff, but and no longer going for the amazing houses are just moving to LA very quickly. He's no longer talking about that, which is a great thing for The Weeknd, in my perspective. Not necessarily anybody's perspective, but in my perspective, that I enjoy that. Well, I shouldn't say in SnowChild, he was talking about, them being gone and how hella hard relationships are for him and, for people and women he's in. Being together. He said that because I do feel like The Weeknd's always working, so they're never working, they're never together a lot because they're always working, which is understandable because The Weeknd, he loves making music about relationships and making stuff about stuff. I do like the transitions. The transitions were good. The album was good. The songs were good. But I think SnowChild, Faith, After Hours, Scared to LA. Yeah, Escape to LA, Hardest to Love, After Hours, Faith, and SnowChild. They were my favorite songs. Blinding Lights I didn't like so much, but the other ones, they had a true story to it, where you were grabbing from each moment, from each story, because it was a different story, different experience, and you could kind of feel it when you were getting there. After Hours, he's kind of just really talking about how he was reflecting on relationships. The same thing Party Next Door did in Party Mobile. While it's not as in After Hours, it's very it's not subtle. It's just not subtle in After Hours. You gotta tell who the women he's talking about in each song. Okay, Party Mobile. Partymobile, I do like. I don't necessarily hate Partymobile. Partymobile is a great album from Party Next Door. Came out in March 20th, I believe, as well, with the Weeknd, which was After Hours. So nothing was the same. Was great. Kind of was reflecting on relationships and how he was just thinking about some. Well, in the song, he was just thinking about like reflecting on the past relationship with a person, and he was just trying to be his better self for that person in the relationship, which is understandable. Turn up, he was just kind of explaining, he spends money on females, and he's not really, he doesn't want them to feel that he sees other women, but he's not really attracted to them. He just wants to chill with he wants to just chill with the person that he loves the most, and just wants to spend more time with them. Turn up. Spilt Decisions is a track where it kind of feels like an affair happened or something happened, and they wanted to kind of take a break. Not necessarily they needed to, but they couldn't trust. One person couldn't trust the other person, another person couldn't trust another person because they were scared that they were going to cheat, or they could never really forgive. While in Loyal, you kind of see a relationship being built. You see the friends, the girlfriend, you see the best friend, you see the friendship, you see the best friendship, you see the girlfriend or boyfriend. And you kind of see it as, they're being loyal to the person on all stages, so they take it another stage up, which I do like. The Loyal remix, I don't like so much, which knocked it down a few points. I don't think it knocked it down a lot, but I think it knocked it down 1 point, right? Okay. Sorry, just getting these papers straight. Touch Me, it's kind of a song where you listen to it and they're just like attracted to a person's touch, which I liked, but I didn't like that much. I took a half a point off of that because I like the album, but it's just not like me. Trauma I really did like though. Trauma was the song where he admits his wrongs. He did wrong, and he's just trying to, having them sleepless nights, just reflecting on what he could have done better. Like, and nothing less he was really like giving it his all into that relationship. And Trauma is kind of a song where you're just like, okay, well, he was giving his all into the relationship, but apparently he didn't meet one standard, which is understandable, because we all get to that stage where we just rethink, could I have done something better? I'm sorry. Showing You is kind of him just trying to show the person or people that he loves that, he's not trying to be a bad person, but, he does spend most of his time doing other things, but when he gets his free time, he likes to spend it with the person that he loves, and that's understandable, because, most people do that. And from previous experience, I understand, you get caught up in working or caught up in doing something, you just kind of, and like the little time you get, you like to spend with the person that you love or deeply care for, and so it's not all the time, but you stop by frequently, like maybe out of a month, maybe you see them like 5 days. But it's just because you're working so much and you just kind of, it gets past you. Savage Anthem was him just kind of being like, yeah, don't wait on me at all because I'm not going to call, not going to text back, not going to do anything because, either he realized he messed up or they were seeing other people and he just kind of called it quits. They broke up and he was just like, okay, well, that's fine. I'm not going to text you, don't call you. I'm not going to wait for your reply, and you're not going to wait for my reply. I'm not going to wait for your reply, and we stop talking and texting, or we rarely do it, just kind of check up on each other and don't ever text back. Which I will say is a great song. The Rihanna feature on Believe It was very, I think Party Next Door could have did the song by himself. With I think the Rihanna ad-libs, kind of just giving that trust into somebody, giving a little bit of trust into somebody, and then introduce them to their family, and the family enjoyed them, but it was all over, something. I don't say materialistic. Yeah, a little a thing that's like materialistic. I was one that I liked though. It was like, I guess he was stuck on two girls, right? Or stuck between two people, and he said one has to be a friend, and one can dance. Just kind of. It's just but he agreed that they would just be friends, and he didn't want to take it to another stage because they agreed before, and they would just be friends. Sorry. Never Again, I do like. Okay, so Never Again, I do, because it's like he wants her forgiveness, but she doesn't want to get forgiveness, so he's just like, I'm always put you first, but forgiveness part, she just can't forgive him for it, or he can't forgive her for the affair or something that happened. PGT, he was saying that the brain. He was saying that she's always making moves for herself for the paper, and he likes her knowledge, basically the knowledge that she has. He likes that she has it. Not really anything deep, but he just it's emotionally and psychologically, they're good for each other because she's also smart. So, but the attraction's still there, the physical attraction, it's all there. But it's just he's just letting you know that's what that is. Yeah, kind of ran over what I thought it was going to be, but yeah. I think overall, these are great albums and great songs. But I would tie them with 6 and 6 even. 6 out of 10 even, and 6 out of 6. 6 out of 10 even, and 6 out of 6. After Hours will get a 6 out of 10. And Party Mode will get a 6 out of 10. I just feel like it could have been longer, and some songs could have been left out and made it the track a little bit longer. They had a few bad tracks here and there, but they were still good songs. I enjoyed the songs because they were good. And I kind of would have enjoyed the Weeknd's him fluctuating with his voice, with his singing voice, which is great. I do enjoy when the Weeknd sings. It's great. Partymobile reminds me of what is it? Party Next Door 2, which was great. I do like Party Next Door 2. It was great. But Partymobile has that type of vibe. Overall, I give these both 6 out of 10s. Just without a doubt, 6 out of 10 for both these albums. They were great albums. They weren't anything bad. They were all good albums. But yeah, see y'all in the next episode. And now, a word from our sponsor. Alright. So let's get into it. So, I forgot to mention that things I forgot at the end of the podcast. Well, a few things I forgot to mention. So, when I said Party Next Door, it felt like Party 2, right? It was great, but I missed songs To Be Honest and Peace of Mind, which was from Party Next Door. However, on the Weeknd Deluxe Edition, I realized that I didn't go into detail about the Weeknd After Hours. Amazing album, 6 out of 10 album, perfectly good, perfectly great. But I forgot to mention, do y'all remember his 3 bonus tracks that were Missed You, Final, and Nothing Compares? They remind you of the trilogy, Kissland, Starboy. They just remind you of his old-fashioned albums, which are great. Which are really great. Because you will go back in there and be like, yo, I really did miss that. I really did miss that. Like, those weren't something I missed on purpose, but, you go back, listen to the album 3 or 4 more times, come back and listen, and you kind of forget like they're good old reference tracks, but these songs seem like they go together perfectly, like Kissland and Starboy, or Party 2, or the original Party. And it's, you miss those, right? You miss those, like Recognize or Come and See Me, or songs just like Reminder, or songs that were featuring another artist but they felt so genuine. You do understand that you missed these. One more thing from our sponsor, and then that's all. But I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and if you did, please subscribe if you want to watch every time I put a podcast up about music. I always talk about podcasts, and the podcast can generate from music, gaming, to anything. Yeah, but seriously, after this is off of this episode, but stay tuned from a message from our sponsor. See you in the next one.